The stars shimmered faintly in the night sky above the small town of Willow Creek, a place so ordinary that even the most imaginative minds would struggle to find anything extraordinary about it. The town was a patchwork of quiet streets, modest homes, and a single diner that served as the social hub for its residents. Among those residents was Ethan Cole, a 28-year-old mechanic with a knack for fixing anything with an engine and a life that was as predictable as the sunrise. Ethan had always been content with his simple life. He enjoyed the rhythm of his daily routine, waking up early, tinkering with cars at his garage, and spending his evenings at the diner with his best friend, Mia Torres, who worked as a waitress there. But all of that was about to change in a way he could never have imagined. One evening, as Ethan was closing up his garage, he noticed a strange light in the sky. At first, he thought it was a plane or a satellite, but the light grew brighter and more intense, casting an eerie glow over the town. Before he could process what was happening, the light descended rapidly, landing in the woods just outside Willow Creek. Curiosity got the better of him, and Ethan grabbed a flashlight before heading into the woods to investigate. The trees were thick, and the underbrush crunched beneath his boots as he made his way toward the source of the light. As he approached, he saw a small spacecraft, its surface shimmering with an otherworldly metallic sheen. The craft was damaged, with smoke rising from one side, and the ground around it was scorched. Ethan's heart raced as he cautiously moved closer. He had always been a skeptic when it came to extraterrestrial life, but the evidence was right in front of him. As he reached the craft, a hatch opened with a hiss, and a figure emerged. She was unlike anyone Ethan had ever seen. Tall and slender, with skin that glowed faintly in the moonlight, she had long, silver hair that seemed to float around her as if defying gravity. Her eyes were large and luminous, with irises that shifted colors like a kaleidoscope. She wore a sleek, form-fitting suit that seemed to be made of the same material as the spacecraft. For a moment, they simply stared at each other, both too stunned to speak. Then, the alien woman staggered, clutching her side. Ethan noticed a dark, viscous liquid seeping through her fingers. She was injured. "Are you okay?" Ethan asked, his voice trembling. He wasn't even sure if she could understand him. The alien woman looked at him, her eyes narrowing slightly as if she were trying to decipher his words. Then, she spoke, her voice melodic and ethereal, yet somehow familiar. "I need help." Ethan's mind raced. He couldn't just leave her here, but bringing an alien into town would undoubtedly cause chaos. Still, he couldn't ignore her plea. "Okay," he said, nodding. "I'll help you. But we need to be careful." He helped her to his truck, doing his best to support her weight as they made their way through the woods. She was surprisingly light, as if her body was made of something less dense than human flesh. Once they were in the truck, Ethan drove back to his garage, praying that no one would see them. Once inside, he cleared a space in the back room and helped the alien woman lie down on a makeshift bed. He grabbed a first aid kit, though he wasn't sure if it would be of any use. As he examined her wound, he noticed that the liquid wasn't blood, it was more like a glowing, silvery substance. What are you?" Ethan asked, his voice barely above a whisper. The alien woman looked at him, her eyes softening. "My name is Lyra," she said. "I am from a planet far from here. My ship was damaged, and I need to repair it before I can return." Ethan nodded, though his mind was still reeling. "Okay, Lyra. I'll do what I can to help you. But you need to stay hidden. If anyone finds out about you—" "I understand," Lyra said, her voice calm but tinged with urgency. "Thank you, Ethan." As Ethan worked to clean and bandage her wound, he couldn't help but feel a strange connection to her. There was something about her presence that was both comforting and unsettling, as if she carried the weight of an entire world on her shoulders. Little did he know, this encounter would change his life forever. The days that followed were a whirlwind of tension and secrecy. Ethan did his best to keep Lyra hidden in the back room of his garage, bringing her food and supplies when he could. He told Mia that he was working on a special project, which wasn't entirely a lie, though he left out the part about the alien woman currently residing in his garage. Lyra's wound healed surprisingly quickly, thanks to her advanced physiology. She spent most of her time studying Ethan's tools and equipment, fascinated by the primitive technology. In turn, Ethan found himself drawn to her intelligence and curiosity. They spent hours talking, with Lyra teaching him about her world and Ethan sharing stories of life on Earth. One evening, as they sat together in the garage, Lyra turned to Ethan with a serious expression. "Ethan, there is something I must tell you," she said. "My presence here is not just an accident. I was sent to Earth on a mission." Ethan's heart skipped a beat. "A mission? What kind of mission?" Lyra hesitated, as if weighing her words carefully. "My people have been observing Earth for many years. We believe that your planet is on the brink of a great change, one that could either lead to your destruction or your evolution. I was sent to assess the situation and, if necessary, intervene." Ethan stared at her, his mind racing. "Intervene? How?" "By forming an alliance," Lyra explained. "My people believe that the key to Earth's survival lies in the unity of its inhabitants. But to achieve that, we must first prove that such an alliance is possible." Ethan frowned. "And how do you plan to do that?" Lyra's gaze softened. "By forming a bond with someone from this world. Someone who can serve as a bridge between our species." Ethan's eyes widened as the realization dawned on him. "You mean, me?" Lyra nodded. "Yes, Ethan. I believe that you are the one. Your kindness, your curiosity, your willingness to help me, these are the qualities that make you the perfect candidate." Ethan felt a mix of emotions, flattery, fear, and a strange sense of responsibility. "But I'm just a mechanic. I'm not some kind of diplomat or leader. How can I possibly help you with something this big?" Lyra reached out and placed a hand on his, her touch sending a warm, tingling sensation through his body. "You underestimate yourself, Ethan. The strength of a bond is not measured by titles or status, but by the sincerity of the connection. And I believe that our connection is genuine." Ethan looked into her eyes, feeling a strange sense of calm wash over him. "Okay," he said finally. "I'll do whatever I can to help. But we need to be careful. If anyone finds out about you—" "I understand," Lyra said. "We will proceed with caution." As the days turned into weeks, Ethan and Lyra grew closer, their bond deepening with each passing moment. But their secret couldn't stay hidden forever. It was a quiet afternoon when everything changed. Ethan was in the garage, working on a car, while Lyra stayed hidden in the back room. Mia had stopped by to bring him lunch, as she often did, and they were chatting casually when the door to the back room creaked open. Ethan's heart sank as Lyra stepped out, her silver hair shimmering in the sunlight. Mia froze, her eyes widening in shock. "Ethan, what the hell is that?" Mia whispered, her voice trembling. Ethan quickly moved to stand between Mia and Lyra, holding up his hands. "Mia, it's okay. She's not dangerous. Her name is Lyra, and she's an alien." Mia stared at him, her expression a mix of disbelief and fear. "An alien? Are you serious right now?" Lyra stepped forward, her gaze calm and steady. "I mean you no harm," she said. "I am here to help." Mia took a step back, shaking her head. This can't be real. "Ethan, what's going on?" Ethan sighed, realizing that there was no way to sugarcoat the situation. "Mia, I know this is a lot to take in, but Lyra is telling the truth. She's here on a mission, and I'm helping her. But you can't tell anyone about this. If word gets out, it could put all of us in danger." Mia looked from Ethan to Lyra and back again, her mind racing. Okay, let's say I believe you. What exactly is this mission? Lyra explained her mission to Mia, just as she had to Ethan. As she spoke, Mia's initial fear began to fade, replaced by curiosity and a growing sense of awe. So, you're here to save the world? Mia asked, her voice tinged with disbelief. In a sense, Lyra replied. But I cannot do it alone. I need the help of people like you and Ethan. Mia looked at Ethan, her expression softening. You really believe in this, don't you? Ethan nodded. I do. And I need your help, Mia. We can't do this without you. Mia took a deep breath, then nodded. Okay. I'm in. But if this goes south, I'm blaming you. Ethan smiled, feeling a sense of relief. Deal. With Mia on board, the trio began to work together, preparing for the next phase of Lyra's mission. But they knew that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges and danger. As word of Lyra's presence began to spread, thanks to a few close calls and near misses, the trio found themselves facing increasing scrutiny. Strange men in black suits began to appear around town, asking questions and poking around Ethan's garage. It was clear that someone, or something, was onto them. Ethan, Mia, and Lyra knew that they couldn't stay in Willow Creek much longer. They needed to find a way to complete Lyra's mission before it was too late. But to do that, they would need to leave the safety of the town and venture into the unknown. One night, as they sat together in the garage, Lyra revealed the next step of her plan. There is a place, far from here, where we can find the answers we seek, she said. A place where the boundaries between our worlds are thin. But getting there will not be easy. Where is this place? Ethan asked. It is called the Veil of Ether, Lyra explained. It is a hidden sanctuary, accessible only to those who know the way. But to reach it, we must first pass through the shadows of doubt, a place where our fears and insecurities will be tested. Mia frowned. That sounds ominous. It is, Lyra admitted. But it is the only way. Ethan nodded, his resolve firm. Then we'll do it. Whatever it takes. The next morning, they set out on their journey, leaving Willow Creek behind. As they traveled, they encountered strange and terrifying creatures, as well as challenges that tested their courage and their bond. But through it all, they remained united, their determination unwavering. Finally, after days of travel, they reached the entrance to the Veil of Ether, a shimmering portal that seemed to pulse with energy. As they stepped through, they found themselves in a place unlike anything they had ever seen. The Veil of Ether was a place of breathtaking beauty, with towering crystal spires and rivers of light that flowed through the air. But it was also a place of great danger, as they soon discovered. As they made their way through the sanctuary, they were confronted by a powerful being known as the Guardian of the Veil. The Guardian was a towering figure, cloaked in light, with eyes that seemed to pierce through their very souls. Why have you come here? The Guardian demanded, its voice echoing through the air. Lyra stepped forward, her head held high. We seek the knowledge that will save our worlds. We seek the truth. The Guardian regarded them for a moment, then nodded. Very well. But know this, the truth you seek comes with a price. Are you prepared to pay it? Ethan, Mia, and Lyra exchanged glances, then nodded in unison. We are, Ethan said. The Guardian led them to a chamber at the heart of the sanctuary, where a massive crystal stood, pulsing with energy. This is the heart of Ether, the Guardian explained. It contains the knowledge you seek. But to access it, you must prove your worth. The trio was then subjected to a series of trials, each one more difficult than the last. They faced their deepest fears, their darkest doubts, and their most painful memories. But through it all, they remained steadfast, their bond growing stronger with each challenge. Finally, they stood before the heart of Ether, their bodies and minds exhausted but their spirits unbroken. The guardian nodded in approval. You have proven yourselves worthy. The knowledge you seek is now yours. As the crystal pulsed with light, Lyra reached out and touched it, her eyes closing as the knowledge flowed through her. When she opened her eyes again, they were filled with a new sense of purpose. I understand now, she said. The key to saving our worlds lies in unity, not just between our species, but within ourselves. We must let go of our fears and embrace the truth of who we are. Ethan and Mia nodded, feeling a sense of clarity wash over them. They knew what they had to do. With the knowledge they had gained, they returned to Earth, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. They knew that the road would not be easy, but they also knew that they had the strength to overcome anything, as long as they stood together. And so, the unlikely trio, a mechanic, a waitress, and an alien beauty, set out to change the world, one step at a time. Their journey was far from over, but they knew that as long as they had each other, they could face anything. The end, or perhaps, just the beginning.